reflection of the harmony and balance we strive for at St. Gregory's Abbey.
Gordon Cooper Technology Center has trade classes for all ages. These programs are not just for our high school students, they are for all ages, and you have the opportunity to get further educated within our community and pick up a trade skill today at Gordon Cooper Technology Center.
Kevin Hanna, Frontier Commercial Group, specializes in both commercial and residential real estate. Whether you're looking to secure the perfect commercial space or find your dream home, Kevin's team helps you achieve your real estate goals. Visit Kevin's interactive website to get started today. Downtown Auto Body works for you with your insurance company to reduce your hassles. Downtown Auto Body is on your side to get your vehicle repaired as it should be, back at top condition. Trust Downtown Auto Body, Main Street, Shawnee. At Hardesty Deli, the food is great and the people are even better. A genuinely local atmosphere. The Oliver family has more than 70 years as butchers with Hardesty. If you're in Shawnee, you gotta stop at Hardesty Deli.
Here we are at Elle's Jewelry. Oh my goodness. This is actually a homecoming crown. And does the homecoming queen get to keep the crown? They do. They get to keep the crown. I love that. Thank you guys for shopping at Elle's Jewelry. Yay!
Good throw gets Bertram. And that's smashed. Nothing new.
Go time, showtime, get on your feet. It's my time. Go time, showtime, get on your feet.
Hey Mom, I got hurt playing volleyball and you forgot to pack my ibuprofen. You got hurt? That's okay, you just need some ibuprofen. Go to Eric's Pharmacy around the corner. They should have some.
Fred's Tire and Battery is locally legendary. Known for their friendly family welcomes and just as friendly exits, Fred's can service your vehicle needs. Make Fred's Tire and Battery your first stop when your vehicle needs service.
So we are excited to finally be open. We have an on-site x-ray, we have a lab, we do sports physicals, DOT physicals, we can treat seasonal allergies as well as if you need any blood drawn.
You can treat a little bit of everything right here at this location, First Med off of Kickapoo. We'll see you soon.
All Safe Security. When you go with us, you're all safe. We solve home and business security needs. We install surround sound and can help with Ethernet wiring. Builder packages available. Keep all safe. Go with All Safe Security.
In today's world, fast and reliable internet isn't a luxury. CVEC Fiber is connecting our community with 100% fiber optic internet. From ultra-smooth gaming to crystal-clear video calls, you'll never miss a moment. Visit CVECfiber.com to sign up.
Stewart & Clover Attorneys and Title Company exists to help people. It really is that simple. Whether you have personal or business legal questions or need help navigating land title issues, Stewart & Clover is big enough to solve problems, small enough to care. Great prices sell cars, and Castrokey Auto Mart truly understands that principle. Straightforward pricing with no gimmicks. Located on the corner of Harrison and Jefferson for over 40 years, shop at the lot or online. Castrokey Auto Mart. They're good people. Gear up your family with unique request one-off orders at Bleacher Season online store. That's right, little brother, dad, and mom with clothes and gear unique to your family. A bunch of cool gear to order. Bleacher Season makes your idea a reality. Gear up for the games at BleacherSeason.com. ShawneeCTV would like to thank the following community sponsors in helping make this broadcast possible. Sebastian Homes, specializing in exceptional residential properties. Grand Roofing Company. Give David James or Stephen Johns a call. Jeff Chamblin, Farm Bureau Insurance Agent, enjoys helping people. Marco's Pizza. Order faster. Online. Pine Cliff Printers. Making good impressions for you. Robert Owens, McElroy and Owens Funeral Group. City Bites. Grab a bite of great food. McAllister's Deli. What can we make for you? Schlotzsky's, for a mouthful of flavor. Find your flavors at Qdoba Mexican Eats. BB Woodworks Player of the Game, every game. Lucky Day Heating and Air Conditioning. Thank you, Corey Crenshaw and crew. Legendary Tenders, Chicken Express. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Mentoring with a mission. Uplift Mentoring. When your pet is family, pause to remember. Wesley United Methodist Church. Worship, study, serve. Find your flavor at Wingstop, the wing experts. Temple Baptist Church, delighted to serve you. Cazadores, a local favorite Mexican restaurant. Taco Bell, satisfy your cravings. Live Moss. St. Benedict Fall Festival, Saturday, October 4th, a family favorite.
The bees and their keeper can communicate. The beekeeper can hear when they're in distress and helps in turn. This partnership of mutual encouragement is a reflection of the harmony and balance we strive for at St. Gregory's Abbey.
Gordon Cooper Technology Center has trade classes for all ages. These programs are not just for our high school students, they are for all ages, and you have the opportunity to get further educated within our community and pick up a trade skill today at Gordon Cooper Technology Center.
Kevin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chad Johnson here for ShawneeCTV, and you are tuned into Lady Wolves Volleyball on this fine Tuesday evening here at the PAC, where our Lady Wolves will play host to the Carl Albert Titans. Carl Albert Titans come in ranked number 7 in Class 5A, as our Lady Wolves are currently ranked number 11. Take a pause as we honor America and bring you our starting lineup for the evening. Again, we're here at the PAC, where our Lady Wolves will be taking on the Carl Albert Titans. Carl Albert comes in with a record of 15-8, led by Coach Tabitha McCray. Our Lady Wolves come in with a record of 12-12, coached by Hunter Burnett. This game obviously is interesting for multiple reasons, but for one, Coach Hunter Burnett obviously spent a couple of years where he was an assistant there at Carl Albert, helping them build their program up, and he brought his expertise over here to Shawnee, where he is coming off a state tournament appearance just last year in his first year with the Wolves, and looking to do the same here this year for the Navy and White. As they are calling out the roster for our Shawnee Lady Wolves, it's also interesting to note that this game is a 5A matchup. If you remember last time we were on the call, our Lady Wolves were across the highway visiting crosstown foe North Rock Creek, where they played in a highly contested contest in which our Lady Wolves came up just a bit short to the North Rock Creek volleyball team over there, and that was a very, very great atmosphere to call and be a part of. That was my first time being in North Rock Creek's facilities, and it was, again, just a highly contested matchup where there were several students on both sides cheering their respective teams on. But again, that was a 5A versus 4A matchup, still highly contested matchup nonetheless. But this game tonight will be very interesting to see how both teams come out to look to push for a playoff appearance and a state tournament bid this season. About the halfway point between the season. Again, both teams looking to move up in the rankings as they will look to try to push for that playoff momentum. This time of the year for most teams is where you really want to start clicking on all cylinders. You want to start to really gel and really start to trend in the right direction. I would like to think that that's the standard and the case for Coach Hunter Burnett. He's been here and done this a few times, even in his short, young career. And the Carl Albert Titans, again, they are coming in at number 7, 15-8. So they are looking to do the same. Both teams making their final adjustments, getting underway. And we will look to open this thing up shortly. Again, we are in our 89th overall consecutive season broadcasting Shawnee Athletics, highlighting our great student athletes here in the 23rd season of calling. It's been a privilege to be able to get to know some of these fine young athletes in all their respective sports. We are still in full tilt with our fall sports as our softball team is away at Norman right now. Don't have any updates on that one, but you know, they beat McAllister last night here on the high school campus, and football is gearing up for another week where they head down the road to Duncan to try and get back in the win column. Again, they dropped a close one. You probably caught it on ShawneeCTV. My friend Daniel had a great call that evening. I was unfortunately not able to make that trip. But a 49-48 loss for football team, and our cross-country team is well underway, and we're in full tilt as we get things off with Maya McGehee on the serve, and it gets it right over the net for the Titans. And as usual, Janiyah Bruner and Ava Plumley get things started with the block party. So that'll be interesting to look at this evening and see how the Lady Wolves come out and generate some momentum early. I think that's one thing, if I had to point to a point of emphasis, is just trying to generate some momentum and get things going pretty early. And looks like there's a stoppage in play. The official is going to talk to one of the Carl Albert players. Not quite sure what is in question. We'll just keep it right here just in case. And the score is 1-0, just opening up. If you're looking for some great entertainment for this evening, you won't find any better entertainment value than high school athletics. And looks like they might have some questions, so they're going to take a timeout. We'll take one as well. You're watching ShawneeCTV.
The bees and their keeper can communicate. The beekeeper can hear when they're in distress and helps in turn. This partnership of mutual encouragement is a reflection of the harmony and balance we strive for at St. Gregory's Abbey.
Gordon Cooper Technology Center has trade classes for all ages. These programs are not just for our high school students, they are for all ages, and you have the opportunity to get further educated within our community and pick up a trade skill today at Gordon Cooper Technology Center.
Gear up your family with unique request, one-off orders at Bleacher Season online store. That's right, little brother, dad, and mom with clothes and gear unique to your family. A bunch of cool gear to order. Bleacher Season makes your idea a reality. Gear up for the games at bleacherseason.com.
And we're back here live at the pack where it looks to be that the officials have got things sorted out. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly they were looking to correct or understand. I would imagine it was probably some kind of lineup issue maybe. I don't want to speculate too much, but I do see that Carl Albert has made a sub, and so we're back underway, and Molly McGehee will still be at the serve for the Lady Wolves. She puts that one in play, and Carl Albert looks to set that one up. And again, Janiyah Bruner and Avery Plumley on the block and keep things in play for the Lady Wolves. Janiyah Bruner gets it up over the net on the spike. And we have ourselves a good opening volley, and the point will go to the Titans. So it's one apiece early here in game number one. Both teams, again, coming in, hovering around that top 10 in Class 5A. Carl Albert, number 7. Shawnee, number 11. Just trying to catch their stride heading down the home stretch of the season. And that one's going to go over to our Shawnee Lady Wolves. So, again, not quite sure what the mix-up was, but looks like they've gotten that sorted out. Both teams are kind of back in their rhythm. Like I was saying, it would be interesting to see how the Wolves can come out and set the tone early, try to generate some momentum heading into the next few sets. Great dig there by Moore over to McGehee, who gets it over to Plumley. And the Titans will go into their rotation there. And that's going to be right over the net for Ashton Chavez. Yeah, got in the action there at the lit net and dropped that one right where the Titans were not. So that'll be a 3-1 lead for the Wolves here early, as Aubrey Smith will be on the serve. Great dig. Oh, just right out of reach for Avery Plumley there, but the dig was nice there by McGehee, and setup was great. Just a little bit too much power there and caught Plumley off guard. So the point will go over to the Titans, 3-2 early on here. Janiyah Bruner comes up for the kill attempt, but it gets blocked there by the Titans, so point will stay with Carl Albert. And so that'll be number 12 for the Titans on the serve. She serves that one into the net, so the point will go over to Our Lady Wolves. Checking in for Our Lady Wolves for the first time this evening is number 5, Chrissy Milam. She comes in for number 16, Ava Plumley, as Kylie Moore will be on the serve for the Lady Wolves, as she gets that one right over the net and keeps it in play for the Wolves. And Milam gets into action. Great save there by the Titans, but can't be corralled, and so the point will stay with the Lady Wolves. 5-3 early on here in set number 1. Great serve there by Moore, and Titans will look to put it in play. Moore tries the dig attempt, couldn't quite get underneath it, so that one go back over to the Titans. 5-4 as their libero, number 3, Caitlin Mabey, will be on the serve for the Titans. She puts it in play. McGehee over to Milam. Milam gets it up, but just outside on that back line. So the score will be tied here at 5 apiece early on. Again, both teams just taking their jabs, trying to get some rhythm here. Great block there by Plumley. Excuse me, that was Janiyah Bruner. And the point will stay with Shawnee Lady Wolves as number 10, Chloe Smith, checks in for her first appearance this evening. And she will now be serving for the Lady Wolves. So, again, 6'5", Coach Hunter Burnett is encouraging Smith that she's just checked in and couldn't quite get that one over net. Great effort, great attempt there. Just a little bit short, so score will be 6-6 as the Titans will have a wholesale lineup change coming in. 3 Titans sub in, 3 sub out. And they'll have number 18. That's Kelly Kesner for the Titans. She's on the serve, and point will go over to the Titans. Although Coach Hunter Burnett does not like that, doesn't agree. It looks like he's clamoring for an explanation from the official to no avail. The point will stay with Carl Albert Titans. So the score 7-6 in favor of Carl Albert. And we'll be right here in the mix as Ashton Chavez was a little too hard on the spike. Couldn't quite keep it in place. So the score will stay with the Titans. And both teams early on just trying to get a feel, figure each other out. Milam there on the spike. Great setup there by Molly McGehee. And so the point will go back over to your Lady Wolves. On the serve now is number 9. That's Ashton Chavez. She's been very steady for the Lady Wolves this season. Just a kind of a do-it-all type of player. Can score in a multitude of ways, can defend, and can really help you out when you need a point and need a play. Just an all-around great player. As we have several great athletes that are getting some of their first real experience this year. A couple freshmen, obviously, Plumlee and Chloe Smith. Janiyah Bruner transferring in over from Tecumseh. Got a handful of new faces, but you all love to have some experience. You have some seniors. You have a couple returners from last year who was on that state tournament run team. So this team has the chance to get on a run here late in the season and really make something happen. I really do believe that. I think string a few wins together here down the stretch, I really think that sets them up nicely heading into the playoffs. As we have a tie ball game here, ladies and gentlemen, 9-9 early here in the first one. Still time to get here. The weather's always 75 and sunny here in the pack. Great volley there by both teams as McGehee sets it up to Aubrey Smith, and point will go over to Shawnee. Not quite sure what that was, but we'll take the points nonetheless. However we can get them, we will take for sure. And that'll be Chrissy Milam on the serve for the Navy and White. Great serve there. Point, Lady Wolves. As I'm observing the call here, can't help but notice my good friend, longtime high school basketball coach, Coach Lenny Hatchett, has now moved on to a role with the OSSAA, but good to see him. I think he's here supporting his daughter, who's a key player for the Titans, as the Titans get the point there. And so the score is 11-10 early on here in the first set. Coach Hatchett, obviously one of the better high school coaches of the last few years. I've won a few state championships, but even better person, just a great mentor to me and my younger brother's high school basketball coach. Fun fact of the day, at Edmonton NFA, where he was there and took them to the state championship back in 2015. That one will just be out of play for the Lady Wolves. So the score is 11-11. Both teams kind of just trying to find their rhythm right now, trying to get something going, trying to get a few points in a row strung together. And that'll be great dig there by Chavez over to McGehee, who sets it up nicely for Chloe Smith, but that one's going to be blocked right back, and so the point will go to Carl Albert. So the score 13-11 in favor of CA. Great dig there by Moore and Chavez as Aubrey Smith gets involved there at the net. And that one's out of bounds. Point, Lady Wolves. And Janiyah Bruner will check back in place of Chloe Smith. So, again, 13-12. Right now is usually that stretch of the game where we pull away. We find ourselves in this spot, and we usually string a few of them together and give ourselves a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a cushion. And that one was set up nicely for Janiyah Brewer, but she can't keep that one quite in play on her patented southpaw spike there. Just a bit outside. So the point goes back over to CA. And they will be on the serve. Looks like that's number 10, Lila Owens. So I would imagine that some of these upperclassmen for Titans, Carl Albert here, are pretty familiar with Coach Burnett as he spent a few years over there before he ventured his way back to Shawnee. And that one just couldn't quite be controlled there by the Wolves. So that one goes out of play. Coach Hunter Burnett doesn't like what he sees. He takes a timeout. We'll take one as well. Remember, folks, together we build community, one season at a time.
Moment. Visit cvecfiber.com to sign up.
Downtown Auto Body works for you with your insurance company to reduce your hassles. Downtown Auto Body is on your side to get your vehicle repaired as it should be, back at top condition. Trust Downtown Auto Body, Main Street, Shawnee. Hardesty. If you're in Shawnee, you gotta stop at Hardesty Deli.
Here we are at Elle's Jewelry. Oh my goodness. This is actually a homecoming crown. And does the homecoming queen get to keep the crown? They do. They get to keep the crown. I love that. Thank you guys for shopping at Elle's Jewelry. Yay!
And we're back after the timeout called there by Shawnee. Coach Hunter Burnett didn't really like what he saw, trying to get his team regrouped. Gave him probably a few encouraging words to settle down a little bit and just kind of take a deep breath. And we'll see if his message worked. That one looked like it was going to go over, fell just short. And so the point will stay with the Titans as they have opened up a 4-point lead here, 16-12 early in the first set. And that's going to be a service error on the Titans. So the point will go back over to the Lady Wolves as Aubrey Smith will now be on serve number 3 here for Lady Wolves. And that was a great dig there by Chavez. And that one's going to be a net error on the Titans. So the point will go back over to the Lady Wolves. So again, both teams really trying to separate themselves and take this first one. Score is 16-14 in favor of the Titans still. But again, like I said, this is that stretch of the game where if we're tied, we usually pull away. If we're down, we usually close the gap and then use that as momentum down the stretch of the game. So we'll see if that stands to be true as Aubrey Smith will now be on the serve. And that one goes just out of bounds. So the point will go over back to CA. Man, that was a great play there by Janiyah Bruner. She went up like she was about to spike it very hard and just touched it over the net right where the Titans were not. So the score is 17-15 Still a lot of time left in this first set here for the Wolves to make up some ground. Great serve there by Moore, who puts it in play. And again, the block attempt was great there by Milam. Just couldn't keep that one in play, and that one is going to go back over to the Titans. So they'll have a 18-15 lead, looking to claim victory in the first one. Great dig there by Chavez. Sets it up nicely to McGee, who gets it over to Milam, and it's controlled by the Titans. And we're now in rotation. Great setup, great spike there by Janiyah Bruner. You love to see that teamwork there by both Bruner and Smith, I believe. And that'll bring in Chloe Smith for Bruner. So the score is 18-16. Great set, great serve there, by Chloe Smith. Nice setup, nice bump there. And that's in and out. Looks like that one was, wow, that was a close one. I don't know if we have that one on replay or not, but we do. And from that angle, I couldn't really tell, but it looked great from my angle. It looked like it was a nice spike there and just a bit outside. So the score is 19-16 in favor of the Titans. Milam gets that one over right where they were not, just kind of touched it over the net. So that's a great, well-timed point for the Lady Wolves. So we'll have number 9, Ashlyn Chavez, on the serve for Shawnee. And she gets that one over the net. Great save, great dig there by Smith. And that's going to be a point for the Lady Wolves. Great save there by Aubrey Smith. Just laid out for that one, keeping it alive, and Wolves were able to make a play out of it. Great serve there by Chavez. And looks like one of the Titans just missed time to jump, so that one stays in favor of the Shawnee Lady Wolves. And so we have ourselves a tie ball game, ladies and gentlemen. 19-19 right now in first set. Ashlyn Chavez is still here serving. She gets that one in play. And again, just couldn't really time it up. So the point will stay with the Shawnee Lady Wolves. And don't look now, folks, but the Lady Wolves have clawed their way all the way back in this one. And we're down 12-16 and now have a 20-19 lead here in the first one. And that one's going to just sail out of bounds there to the left. And so the score tied up here, folks, 20 apiece. Both teams just 5 points away from taking this first one. And that will be for Hatchett on the serve for the Titans. And she gets that one over. Great save there by Chloe Smith. Sets it up nicely for Milam. And we are in a volley situation. Great block there by McGehee and Milam. And another great play there by Moore on the dig. Both teams, again, just battling, trying to keep this one going. Great effort there by the Wolves. And that was a phenomenal effort there. Smith to Milam, who sets it up back to Smith, and she just puts that one right where they were not. It looked like she was going over to the right of the court, across the court, and she keeps it on the left side there, right inside the sideline there. So we have ourselves a 21-20 ball game in favor of our Lady Wolves. Oh, that's nice. That's so nice. McGehee set it up nicely to Ava Plumley, and she gets in the action with a point of her own. So score 22-20, ladies and gentlemen. Just 3 points away from taking this first set, as Chrissy Milam will stay on the serve. And that's going to go out of bounds, so the point will stay with the Lady Wolves. 23-20. Just 2 points away from taking home this first opening set. Milam puts it in play, gets it over. And again, just out of bounds for the Titans. So the score, 24-20. Game point for the Lady Wolves here, as Milam will look to finish things off with the service. And that one is out of bounds. Great serve and ace to close things out, which gets Coach Hunter Burnett off the bench. 25-20. Lady Wolves come back in a great one there to take the first set. We'll take a break and come right back. Let's see what we can do now.
Go time, show time, get on your feet. It's my time. Go time, show time, get on your feet.
Hey Mom, I got hurt playing volleyball and you forgot to pack my ibuprofen. You got hurt? That's okay, you just need some ibuprofen. Go to Eric's Pharmacy around the corner. They should have some.
Get on your feet. Get on your feet. It's my time. Go time. Show time. Get on your feet.
Fred's Tire and Battery is locally legendary, known for their friendly family welcomes and just as friendly exits. Fred's can service your vehicle needs. Make Fred's Tire and Battery your first stop when your vehicle needs service.
Coming back here where our Lady Wolves have taken the first set here of the evening against the Carl Albert Titans. 25-20 in that first one. And again, I felt like that middle stretch of the game where it was 16-12 in favor of the Titans, 13-16 in favor of the Titans, was a pivotal stretch in the game, because if the Titans would have pulled away and made it, 17, 18, 19 to 12 or 13, then it becomes a little bit bigger of a hill to climb. But the Lady Wolves were able to battle back and reel off 3 or 4 straight, tying the game up, and then eventually taking over the lead, where they were able to hold on to it and close it out. Great play by everybody there. Several Wolves were involved in that comeback. And so we'll look to keep in that direction as we have set number 2 on the way. So we'll have Bruner, we'll have Chavez, we will have McGehee, we will have Plumley, we'll have Chrissy Milam, and we will have number 4, our libero, Kylie Moore, start us off. So again, Lady Wolves coming in, number 11, Titans, number 7. So both teams right in or near the top 10 of Class 5A, looking to generate some momentum heading down the stretch of the season. Few games left for both ball clubs as they are preparing for that state tournament west. We'll open things up as the Lady Wolves are looking to keep things going here in set number 2 as they get on the board first and open up the score with a 1-0 lead. And that one was just great reflexes more than anything. That was great play there by Aubrey Smith, who keeps it in play, and she'll be on the serve for Lady Wolves. Great block there by Plumley and Chavez, although that looks like they might have been just a little bit too close to the net. So that one's going to go over to the Titans. But nonetheless, great effort there by Plumley. Timed it up perfectly. Ashlyn Chavez was also involved in that block party. Just a little bit too close to the net there. So that'll be Titans serve, and that's going to be a service error, and that's going to go sail out of bounds. So the point will go back over to your Lady Wolves. So that'll be Kylie Moore now checking back in, and she'll be on the serve as Chrissy Milam also returns for the Lady Wolves. And Moore gets that one over the net, puts it in play. Milam also at the net. It looks like Coach Hunter Bennett is advocating for a net error, and he does get it because the point will go back over to the Lady Wolves. And so, yeah, I think he was citing that the Titans were in the net there and over the net, rather, on the spike attempt, and the ref agreed. And so we have ourselves a 3-1 ball game early here in set number 2. Again, 89th consecutive season of calling all these Shawnee athletic events and highlighting the phenomenal athletes we have here. Just getting things ramped up this year as our fall athletic slate is in full tilt. That one's going to be in the net for the Titans, so the point will stay with the Lady Wolves. 23rd season overall, 89th consecutive season. So you can imagine that's a lot of high-level competition that the Wolves and Lady Wolves have been a part of. Great block there by Milam. And I think she's going to be called for net infraction, just a little too close. Not really sure how they gauge that or what the criteria is that you can or cannot do, but nonetheless, point will go over to the Titans. So they will have a 4-2. Excuse me, they'll be down 4-2 as the Wolves are still in front here. And that one was definitely a net infraction. I saw that one from my seat. And so that one will go back over to our Lady Wolves as Chloe Smith will check in for number 14, Janiyah Bruner. And Smith will now be on the serve. Great serve there for Smith, who gets in play. And that one's going to be out of bounds on the Titans. And so the point will stay with the Lady Wolves. 6-2 here in set number 2. It's a great dig there by the Titans. Really got on that one, getting over the net. And the Wolves couldn't quite put that one in play. Controlled that one. Was a little tough, but still have a 3-point lead here in the second set, as the Titans will now be on the service. If you're looking for high-value entertainment, just something to get out of the house, and you're in the area, definitely come by and check out these Lady Wolves, as they are a force to be reckoned with. It's been very fun to call their games and be a part of the action. No shortage of entertainment when you watch them play, for sure. 6-4 here as McGehee sets it up for Chavez and gets that one in play, and that one had some heat on it, and the Titans probably felt that as well because they couldn't control that one. So that one's going to be 7-4 for the Shawnee Lady Wolves, as Ashlyn Chavez, is now on the serve. She gets that one over, and great serve by Chavez, and looked to try to make something happen there on the return, but wasn't there quick enough and just couldn't get there in time. So the score will be 7-5. Lady Wolves still on top, as the Titans will now be on the serve. Smith over to McGehee, back to Aubrey Smith, and that one's a net infraction. Yep. Just can't find yourself up against the net trying to make the play. The point will be in favor of the Titans, 7-6 here. And that's Milam, who was set up nicely there by McGehee. And Aubrey Smith over to McGehee, who gets it right over the net. Looked like she was going to set that one up, but she takes it on her own, and she does the same thing on the spike, and that gets her teammates going. Again, McGehee is usually the one setting up the spikes, but this time they get her involved, and she just does yeoman's work there, just taking it onto her own hands and getting the point there for the Lady Wolves. So the score 8-6 here in the second set. And Chrissy Milam gets that one in play. Great dig there by Aubrey Smith, who gets it over to Molly McGehee. And that one's going to be a net infraction. I'm starting now, just based on the number of those calls that have been made this evening to really start to understand what the criteria is or what you can or can't do a little bit better. And that one, as Coach Hunter Burnett didn't quite understand or didn't agree with, looked very marginal, to say the least, I would say, from my estimation. But I'm not the one wearing the white polo and black pants. I'm just calling the game, so they don't really care what I have to think about it. Nonetheless, 8-7. We have ourselves a great one here in the second set. And that's going to be an ace for the Titans. That was Ashton Chavez who made the attempt on it, just couldn't quite control it. So the score will be 8-8. Second set here. And that one's out of bounds. So that's going to go back over to your Lady Wolves. So again, this one's shaping up to mirror the last one. Both teams just trading points early on and trying to get some kind of rhythm going. So it'll be interesting to see which team can pull away and when they can pull away. Right now, the Wolves are hanging on to a 9-8 lead. And that one's going to go out of bounds as well, so the point will stay with the Lady Wolves. So the score 10-8. Molly McGehee will be on the serve, and that one just won't have enough air under it to get over the net. So point will go back over to the Titans. They'll make a substitution. That'll be number 10, number 8 checking in for the Titans. That's point Titans. So 10-10 is our score here. Number 10, Lila Owens on the serve for the Titans. She gets that one right in play for the ace. So again, nobody really where that one was for the Lady Wolves. So point will stay with the Titans. And that one went out of bounds on the Titans, so the point will stay. The point will go over to the Lady Wolves. So we have ourselves, again, just a neck-and-neck game right now. Both teams battling it out. Both teams really looking to try to gain some separation as the score is 11-11 here. McGehee over to Moore. Sets it up nicely for Bruner. And again, that one couldn't be quite controlled. She may have been a little over-eager on the spike there, but I'd rather her go for the gusto than not. And so sometimes when you do that, you just don't put it where you need it. But nonetheless, it's a great setup, great effort there by the Lady Wolves. Scores 12-11 here. Great save there by McGehee on the dig. Gets it over to Moore, who gets it over to Chavez, and that one's going to be blocked right back. And so the score will be 13-11 Titans. Bump. Nice set there by McGehee. And that was over to Murner, and that one just goes out of bounds by the Titans bench. And so we'll have the first action for Roselle Flamuzzo. Number 8 will check in, a freshman for the Lady Wolves. And that was a great dig there by Moore, who gets a nice save over to McGehee. And I'm not sure what the call is. Coach Hunter Burnett can't believe it. Point will go over to the Titans. Looked like maybe there was some kind of infraction when McGehee went to save it out of bounds. And that's a block for the Titans. So the score is 16-11. in favor of the Titans. Coach Hunter Burnett not very happy. Obviously, the refs are calling things that he doesn't agree with. But nonetheless, he'll take a timeout. We'll take one as well. You're watching Shawnee Lady Wolves Volleyball on ShawneeCTV.
All Safe Security. When you go with us, you're all safe. We solve home and business security needs. We install surround sound and can help with Ethernet wiring. Builder packages available. Keep all safe. Go with All Safe Security. Stewart and Clover Attorneys and Title Company exists to help people. It really is that simple. Whether you have personal or business legal questions or need help navigating land title issues, Stewart and Clover is big enough to solve problems, small enough to care. Call Air Force One today and let comfort take flight. Muirhead family owned, serving all of Shawnee. Homes, businesses, expert service on all brands. Air Force One, where your comfort comes first.
And we're back after the timeout called by Coach Hunter Burnett for the Lady Wolves. And Wolves find themselves in a little bit of a deficit right now, 17-11 here in the second set. Hoping to gain some momentum, just get something going here. As that's Bruner and Plumley on the block, but drops down right on their side. So that's going to be a point for the Titans. And so scores 18-11. Titans looking to even up the set series here, one apiece, as Bruner gets involved and gets that one over. Nice set there by McGehee over to Bruner. And that one will be blocked. And that one's going to be just put nicely over the net. Didn't have a lot of power on it, but just enough touch. And now it's going to be Ashlyn Chavez on the point. So the score 18-12 here, as Kylie Moore will be on the serve for the Lady Wolves. Great block there by Bruno. Timed it up perfectly. Her and Milam are there as they get the point. 18-13. Chipping away right now are the Lady Wolves, looking to claw their way back in this one, as they've done time after time this year. And that's going to be Bruner again on the block. Just an excellent vertical that she has there. And that one is going to be blocked there by the Titans. So the score is 19-13. Great setup there by Milam over to Chavez. And both teams in volley mode right now. And he sets it up nicely for Chavez, who puts it in play to the Titans. And Bruner gets involved, gets it one over. And that one's going to be mishandled by the Titans. So this point will go over to the Lady Wolves. So scored 19-14. You just feel like right now for us Wolves fans, we can string together a few points here. If we can get this margin within 2 or 3, put a little pressure on the Titans here to close this one out, I think that would give us a chance to take the lead here. And it looks like that one's going to go back over to the Titans, 20-14 here in the second set. Just dropped it right in front of the Lady Wolves, and I think they thought that one was going out of bounds, but unfortunately it did not. So the point will go back over to the Titans. So scores 20-14, second set right now for both teams, looking to try to even things up as Carl Albert. And that one's going to be a point for Lady Wolves. So again, Shawnee took the first set 25-20. The Titans have come back out now with the 15 lead, looking to even things up. Ashlyn Chavez will be on the serve for the Wolves. As that one goes into the net, but kept in play for the Titans. McGehee over to Milam. And that one's right in front of Chloe Smith. She looked like she wasn't really paying attention and think she was just really stunned to hit on her side. But she'll come out and the Wolves will make some subs as they look to try to keep this one going here. Great block there by Milam. And she single-handedly makes that play. Gets the block and keeps it alive for the Lady Wolves, and she'll now be on the serve. So the score, 21-16 in favor of the Titans. Ava Plumley will check back in for number 4, Moore. Again, just a few in a row can really give your team some life, and that's going to be an ace. So we have a 21-17 ball game. Again, the ace gets Coach Hunter Burnett up off the bench. Hadn't really seen him smile in a few points as he was imploring his team to show some fight and really kind of claw their way back in this one. That one got him up out of his seat and got a grant out of him, so that's good to see. And it's a beautiful thing about sports, and really this sport in general, is that things can change relatively quickly. You have to be able to embrace each moment, right, and stay present and be able to trust your teaching and your process, as the Lady Wolves are now just 3 points away from evening things up here. Chrissy Milan will be on the serve. She puts that one in play, and that's out. That is out of bounds. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I probably shouldn't have got ahead of myself there, but I felt like that was clearly out, and looks like the refs have confirmed with one another that I was right. So that's going to be 21-19 as Milan puts it in play. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a 21-20 ball game, and that's going to be an ace because they couldn't get that one over the net on the serve return. So Chrissy Milam has really came in here and made things happen right now on her serving as well as her teammates there. I say that, and she just puts that one right out of bounds, just a little bit too hard and to the left of the line. But again, gets this one within 2 or 3. So it's manageable, very doable right now, as both teams are within 5 points of taking this second set. So we'll see how this one finishes out here in set number 2, as the Titans will have the serve here with a 2-point lead, 22-20 here. And that one's going right into the net. So again, 21-22. Molly McGehee on the serve. Could be a big, big momentum shift here for the Lady Wolves. They can take the lead here. Great save there by McGehee. Set up nicely. Bruner puts that one in. Nicely done there by Janiyah Bruner. Didn't really try to do too much, just kind of put it in play with some touch, and the Titans weren't able to control it. So we have ourselves a tie ball game, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you want to be if you are the Lady Wolves. Obviously, you would love the lead here, but putting this one back on the onus of the Titans is where you want to be, because now they have to kind of gird up their loins and try to make something happen. As a great dig there by Moore over to McGehee, who sets it up nicely for Janiyah Bruner. That's what you love to see there. Moore to McGehee to Bruner for the spike, and that one was a message. That one had some sauce on it there. And now the momentum is back over to the Lady Wolves as McGehee will look to keep this one going for the Lady Wolves. 23-22 right now in favor of the Lady Wolves. And McGehee puts it in play. And the Titans do a good job of returning it. But that one goes straight into the net. So again, ladies and gentlemen, the Wolves have clawed their way all the way back into this one and find themselves just 1 point away from taking a 2-0 lead this evening. Can they do it here? Molly McGehee will be on the serve. And that one's going to be controlled by the Titans, and they get it over. But that one's going to go out of bounds, so the Lady Wolves have done it. They have come all the way back down from 7 points down, where it was, if I remember correctly, 18-11, and scored. Went on a 14-2 run there to end that one. Great job by the Lady Wolves there as they were able to take pivotal game 2, and we'll have what could be the deciding game 3 here coming back after the break. You're watching ShawneeCTV.
Great prices sell cars, and Casterkey Auto Mart truly understands that principle. Straightforward pricing with no gimmicks. Located on the corner of Harrison and Jefferson for over 40 years, shop at the lot or online. Casterkey Auto Mart. They're good people.
Good throw gets Bertram. And that's smashed. Nothing new.
ShawneeCTV would like to thank the following community sponsors in helping make this broadcast possible. Sebastian Homes, specializing in exceptional residential properties. Grand Roofing Company. Give David James or Stephen Johns a call. Jeff Chamblin, Farm Bureau Insurance Agent, enjoys helping people. Marco's Pizza. Order faster online. Pine Cliff Printers, making good impressions for you. Robert Owens, McElroy and Owens Funeral Group. City Bites, grab a bite of great food. McAllister's Deli, what can we make for you? Schlotzsky's, for a mouthful of flavor. Find your flavors at Qdoba, Mexican Eats. BB Woodworks Player of the Game, every game. Lucky Day Heating and Air Conditioning. Thank you, Corey Crenshaw and crew. Legendary Tenders, Chicken Express. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Mentoring with a Mission. Uplift Mentoring. When your pet is family, pause to remember. Wesley United Methodist Church. Worship, study, serve. Find your flavor at Wingstop, the wing experts. Temple Baptist Church, delighted to serve you. Cazadores, a local favorite Mexican restaurant. Taco Bell, satisfy your cravings. Live Moss. St. Benedict Fall Festival, Saturday, October 4th, a family favorite.
Gordon Cooper Technology Center has trade classes for all ages. These programs are not just for our high school students, they are for all ages, and you have the opportunity to get further educated within our community and pick up a trade skill today at Gordon Cooper Technology Center.
Kevin Hanna, Frontier Commercial Group, specializes in both commercial and residential real estate. Whether you're looking to secure the perfect commercial space or find your dream home, Kevin's team helps you achieve your real estate goals. Visit Kevin's interactive website to get started today.
And we're back in action as the Lady Wolves have a commanding 2-0 series lead here this evening. Titans look to keep things in their favor as they have gotten on the board early in this third set. So Wolves find themselves in the driver's seat, up 2-0, looking to close this one out in 3, while the Titans are looking to extend their evening and just give themselves a chance here to get in the winners column here. Looks like there might be a spill on the floor, and so we're having them trying to get that cleaned up, as Chrissy Milam has done a lot this evening for the Lady Wolves, and she is on mop duty or cleaning up as well, so she can do a little bit of everything as she is taking the time to help us out by getting the spill up off the ground. And Milam there was very impactful there in that last set, just had a couple plays there at the net, had a few great serves, and was really involved there in the final few points there. And Janiyah Bruner with a couple points of her own there. And I thought really Moore and Chavez did a really solid job of just keeping the balls in play there for the Lady Wolves. So all-around team effort there to help deliver that set win for the Lady Wolves. Here in set number 3, the Titans have come out with a little bit of fire as they are up 2-0, looking to, again, just try to keep their night going as Janiyah Bruner goes up for the spike and kill, but is denied there at the net, and so that's going to stay with the that's going to stay with the Carl Albert Titans. And we have ourselves a 3-0 score here in set number 3. And that one's going to stay with the Titans, so you use a lot of energy coming back in that last one. Come back out in set number 3. Just a little bit flat, kind of a little bit dull, and Coach Hunter Burnett doesn't like what he sees. He rallies the troops in with a timeout, and so we're going to keep it right here, folks, as we have a 4-0 score here in this set. And so, again, you would love to have seen the Lady Wolves come out with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, a little bit of momentum, and I'm not to say that they don't have that, but Coach Hunter Burnett is not liking what he's seeing. So he is imploring his Lady Wolves team to show some fight and really just kind of stay focused and get them going. And that's the mark of a good coach, when you can be up 2-0 in the fashion that they were able to come back and still want more from your team. Is always a good sign of a well-run program and a great coach there. So we'll see what the Lady Wolves can do here as they are down 5-0 right now here in the third set. And you, though, are excited about the lead and want to celebrate, I guess you could say, you don't want to take your foot off the gas. Long way of me saying you don't want to take your foot off the gas, right? Because anything can happen, game of runs. And all a team really needs is a little bit of life to swing some momentum back in their favor. So we'll see. We'll see how the Lady Wolves can come back. And the one thing I do know is we have found ourselves in this situation down 4, down 5 at this point, at the middle stretch and at the end of the games many times this year. And most times that I've seen them, at least, we've been able to right the ship. And so we'll see if we can continue to do it. As the Lady Wolves now down 5-2. Aubrey Smith will be on the serve. Great serve there by Smith. Gets him in play. And Moore sets it over to McGehee, who sets it up nicely to Plumley. Just couldn't quite keep it in play. So that one's going to go out of bounds, and the point will stay with the Titans. 6-2 here in third set. Ashlyn Chavez will keep that one in play and gets it over to McGehee, who gets it back over to Chavez, and she'll get the point there. So that's a great two-man tandem there by McGehee and Chavez, kind of just going between the two of them before it gets over the net. And so we'll have a 6-3 ball game as Kylie Moore will now be on the serve for the Lady Wolves. And that one's an ace, which gets Coach Hunter Burnett up, which gets the bench up, which gets everybody a little fired up here as we have a 6-4 ball game. Lady Wolves looking to try to build up this momentum, close this one out in 3 sets. And that one doesn't get quite over the net, so the point will go back over to the Titans, and the Titans will make some substitutions of their own, and looks like they will look to reconfigure their alignment. And that one was looked to be blocked and just not quite enough for the Titans. So the point will stay with the Lady Wolves. And so we have ourselves a 7-5 ball game as Chloe Smith will check in for Janiyah Bruner, and she will be serving. And then she gets that one in play, does her job nicely there. And that one's going to stay with the Lady Wolves as the ball goes out of bounds off the Titans. And we have ourselves a 7-6 ball game. Chloe Smith will stay with the serve. And then puts that one in play and getting a bit of a miscommunication there on part of the Titans. And so we have ourselves a 7-7 ball game, and let's see where the Lady Wolves can go from here. They found themselves down 5 early, tied it back up. Can they take off and run with this one? Won't happen on this possession as that one goes out of bounds. Just a little bit too much on the serve there by Chloe Smith, and she'll check out for the Lady Wolves. So the Titans will now be on the serve and put this one in play, and that one's going to go over to Moore, who sets it up over for McGehee, who gets it right over to Milam. McGehee just setting it up nicely for McGehee sets it up for Milam, and Milam does the rest. Just puts it right over the net. For a little touch. We have ourselves an 8-8 ball game. So it was not ideal, didn't look great early, but a well-called timeout by Coach Hunter Burnett. Regroups his bunch, and Lady Wolves are right back in this one. Down by 1 right now, 9-8 here in the third set. Again, they have taken the first 2 sets against number 7 Carl Albert. Both teams 5A classification here. And that one, a little bit of deception there by Aubrey Smith. Just went up like she was going to spike it pretty hard and then fake the Titans out by dropping it right where they were not. So great play there by Aubrey Smith, and we have ourselves a 9-9 ball game, and that'll be Chrissy Milam now on the serve for the Lady Wolves. Great block there by McGehee. You don't really see that too often by McGehee. She's usually the one setting it up for the blocks, or the spikes rather, but she gets right where she wants to be there on the block and makes a phenomenal play for the Lady Wolves. That one goes into the net for the Lady Wolves. So the point will go back over to the Titans. It is good to still see some student athletes on hand supporting their fellow athletes here. See a few football players, baseball players are here, as well as some basketball players and women's basketball players here. So good to see some student athletes on hand to support their fellow student athletes. Moore over to McGehee, who sets it up nicely, and that one was blocked by the Titans, but kept alive here by the Wolves, and that one just out of the play for the Lady Wolves there. So that one's going to go back over to the Titans, 11-10 in favor of Carl Albert. So we have ourselves a close one here in this third set. And Moore gets a nice dig there and sets it up over to McGehee, who puts it in play for Aubrey Smith, and Titans just mishandled that one. So that one's going to be a point for the Lady Wolves. And we'll have McGehee now on the serve for the Wolves. And she gets that one right over the net. Bruner, Plumley, block party. You're invited. 12-11, Lady Wolves. Great play there by Bruner and Plumley there at the net. So 12-11 in favor of Shawnee, as McGehee will stay on the serve, and she gets that one just over the net. And Moore with a great dig there to McGehee, who sets it up nicely to Bruner. And Bruner had some touch on that one. Usually comes with the power, but that one had some touch, and so that'll be a great play. Put it right where they weren't. So 13-11 is your score now in favor of the Wolves. McGehee has been on the service, and that one's going to stay in play there. Hit the back corner, and that's going to go back over to the Titans. So 13-12. Lady Wolves need one more set to take victory, and the Titans would need 3 sets in a row as Aubrey Smith does what she needs to do to try to keep that from happening. So the score is 14-12 in favor of your Lady Wolves. Looking at the schedule now for the Lady Wolves. Don't want to look too far ahead or anything like that, but it looks like they have the Academy up next here in Shawnee. That'll be on Friday. And that's going to stay with the Lady Wolves, and that one stays in play. So 15-12 is your score for the Lady Wolves. And next week, the Lady Wolves will be on the road at Guthrie and then making the short drive up the road to play Tecumseh next week. Round out their season facing off against Lawton MacArthur here in the pack. Taking a trip up to Tulsa to play Tulsa Cassia Hall, and they'll finish the regular season with a matchup against Newcastle here in the pack. So just a few more games left, or excuse me, a few more matches left for the Lady Wolves as they are hanging on and clinging to a 15-14 lead here in the third set. Again, both teams looking to finish the season strong as they prepare for playoffs and the state tournament run. As Denai Bruner gets a spike of her own, and so that'll be a point for the Lady Wolves. The score is 16-14. Lady Wolves just 9 points away. So this is that stretch of that game, that window. This is the window right now where the Lady Wolves can create some separation, or they can find themselves in a little bit more of a hole battle, that you could say. But that one's going to be an ace, and that's going to get Coach Hunter Burnett off the ground and get his ball club fired up as Kylie Moore is doing a phenomenal job on the service. The score is 17-14 right now in favor of Lady Wolves. And that's going to go out of bounds. So the score, 18-14. That's going to get Coach Tabitha McCray off the bench. She's going to call a timeout for the Titans. We'll take one as well. You're watching Lady Wolves Volleyball on ShawneeCTV. Remember, together we build community, one season at a time.
Downtown Auto Body works for you with your insurance company to reduce your hassles. Downtown Auto Body is on your side to get your vehicle repaired as it should be, back at top condition. Trust Downtown Auto Body, Main Street, Shawnee.
Here we are at Elle's Jewelry. Oh my goodness. This is actually a homecoming crown. And does the homecoming queen get to keep the crown? They do. They get to keep the crown. I love that. Thank you guys for shopping at Elle's Jewelry. Yay!
At Hardesty Deli, the food is great and the people are even better. A genuinely local atmosphere. The Oliver family has more than 70 years as butchers with Hardesty. If you're in Shawnee, you gotta stop at Hardesty Deli.
The bees and their keeper can communicate. The beekeeper can hear when they're in.
And we're back after the timeout called by the Titans. Scores 18-14 in favor of our Lady Wolves. Again, the Lady Wolves are up 2-0 right now, looking to close this one out this evening. Both teams, great save there by Morris. Both teams are looking to battle and volley it out here. That one's going to be right over the net and out of play for the Titans. So the score, 19-14, Lady Wolves. So from the time that I mentioned that this was a pivotal window, the Lady Wolves have scored 3 straight, opening up the score 19-14, looking to close out the set and the match this evening. As that one goes into the net, Kylie Moore wanted that one back probably for sure. She was on a bit of a run there on the service. Nonetheless, Lady Wolves still holding on to a 19-15 lead as the Titans are looking to just keep their night going. That one's out of bounds, point in favor of Shawnee. Carl Albert doesn't like that call. Coach McCray shaking her head. And so scores 20-15. Favor of the Lady Wolves. And the Lady Wolves are going to look to make a sub here. So, correction, the point will go over to the Titans. Not sure how that happened or what happened, but we have ourselves a 19-15 ball game. Milam goes up to the attempt, couldn't quite get it over, blocked right there by the Titans. So score is 19-16. So 3-point margin for the Titans here. Lady Wolves just 6 points away from claiming victory. So still anyone's ball game right now. Both teams looking to generate some momentum heading down the stretch of the season here, heading into the playoffs. Set up for Bruner by McGehee. She gets it over. And that's going to be McGehee getting it over to the Titans, who put it back in play. So again, both teams volleying. McGehee to Bruner for the point. You love to see that. Great effort, great teamwork there by the Wolves. Both teams volleying there. And then you get McGehee to Bruner connection for the point. So that's going to be a 20-16 lead for the Lady Wolves. They have 5 points away from claiming the sweep this evening. And that one's just put right in front of Aubrey Smith. Wasn't quite prepared for that one. So hold on to your seatbelts, because this one looks like it could go either way right now as both teams are battling it out. Titans find themselves down 3. Shawnee up 3. Both teams battling. That one's going to be just out of play of the Wolves. So again, this one's not over, folks. 20-18 right now in favor of the Lady Wolves. Again, they have a 2-0 set lead here over the Titans. Milam just gets it over. And that's going to be a net error in favor of the Titans. So score is 20-19. Now the pressure's back on the Lady Wolves to try to close this one out. And a little bit of miscommunication. Looked like it was going to go out of bounds. So we have ourselves now a tie ball game, ladies and gentlemen. 20 apiece. 20 apiece. And this is interesting because the Titans have kind of fought back and given themselves a little bit of momentum in life as the Wolves are kind of pressing right now, and that's what I gather just from the way they're all second-guessing themselves, kind of hesitant for making plays where a few minutes ago they were all flying around. So just got to let it play, just got to let it happen as Chrissy Milam gets back into action. So we have ourselves a 21-21 ball game. Yeah, it seemed like those last few points The Lady Wolves were kind of just shell-shocked, stuck in a little bit of a mud as they were just a second or two behind. But hopefully that point there by Milam gets them regrouped and recalibrated. And that's going to come off pretty hot there as Lady Wolves will now be down 22-21. They couldn't quite handle that one. I don't want to say they took their foot off the gas because that was definitely not the case, but just kind of felt like they were scared to make a mistake or didn't really want to be over aggressive. And again, they're all just kind of trying to be too selfless, right? Honestly, that's a thing. I think they're all kind of wanting to make everybody else the play, and that one hurts because that one goes right between everybody. I felt like that one would have been an easy play for us, but nonetheless, we'll settle things down, and Coach Hunter Burnett will take the timeout. We'll keep it right here as both teams are looking to come right back out of the timeout. 23-21 is the score in favor of the Titans. So Titans just need 2 points here. The Lady Wolves need 4 points here. We have ourselves a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. And both teams volleying here. Great dig there by Moore. Gets it over to McGehee, who puts it in play for Smith. Great save there by Chavez. Wow, what an effort. Oh, wow. That is huge. Ashton Chavez with a great dig there. Ends up in the hands of McGehee, who gets it over. So we have ourselves a 23-22 ball game. What an effort there, just laying out, leaving it all on the line there by Chavez. Chrissy Milam now on the serve, and she gets that one over, and that one's going to be an ace. 23 all. Coach Hunter Burnett gets up. He does his dance. He gets his girls going. Chrissy Milam will stay on the serve. Can the Wolves close this one out? We'll see right here. Milam gets it over. Dig by Chavez over to McGehee. She puts it in play. And that one's going to be just out of reach of Chrissy Milam. So the score is 24-23. Game point here for the Titans. It's a great save there by Kylie Moore, who gets over to McGehee, puts it in play for Aubrey Smith. And that's going to go out of bounds. So the Wolves have some life. 24-24 as Janiyah Bruner checks back in. Molly McGehee on the serve. See what happens here. She gets that one over. That one's going to be set up for Titans. Get it over. McGehee puts it right over it again. Molly McGehee is usually the one setting it up for her teammates, but this time she goes over, takes matters into her own hand. 25-24 in favor of the Lady Wolves. They will have match point right here as McGehee will be on the serve. That's going to be put in play, controlled by the Titans. They go over, and McGehee tries to get one going for herself, but just out of bounds. And so that one's going to be point for the Titans. So 25 all here. Both teams battling. Titans just looking to keep their night alive as the Wolves are looking to close this one out in 3 sets. McGehee over to Aubrey Smith, puts it in play. Oh, wow. What an effort. Oh, wow. That was a phenomenal effort by Janiyah Bruner. Literally makes a play over net from the floor. It was returned right kind of by her, and McGehee had to dive over Bruner for the attempt, but couldn't quite make that one happen. And so the point will stay with the Titans, but an effort nonetheless, to say the least. That was impressive. If they would have made that one happen and scored out of that one, that would have needed to be sent into ESPN top 10 plays. For sure. Nevertheless, Wolves find themselves down 25-26 here as Aubrey Smith throws up for the spike and blocked, and that one's going to go into the net and out of bounds. And so that won't be a point and set for the Titans. So we'll have another one. We'll play four. As series is 2-1. 27-25 was the score there. We'll take a timeout. Remember, you're watching ShawneeCTV.
Distress and helps in turn. This partnership of mutual encouragement is a reflection of the harmony and balance we strive for at St. Gregory's Abbey.
So we are excited to finally be open. We have an on-site x-ray, we have a lab, we do sports physicals, DOT physicals, we can treat seasonal allergies as well as if you need any blood drawn.
You can treat a little bit of everything right here at this location, First Med off of Kickapoo. We'll see you soon.
Go time, showtime, get on your feet, it's my time. Go time, showtime, get on your feet.
Hey Mom, I got hurt playing volleyball and you forgot to pack my ibuprofen. You got hurt? That's okay, you just need some ibuprofen. Go to Eric's Pharmacy around the corner. They should have some.
Fred's Tire and Battery is locally legendary, known for their friendly family welcomes and just as friendly exits. Fred's can service your vehicle needs. Make Fred's Tire and Battery your first stop when your vehicle needs service. At Hardesty Deli, the food is great and the people are even better. A genuinely local atmosphere. The Oliver family has more than 70 years as butchers with Hardesty. If you're in Shawnee, you gotta stop at Hardesty Deli.
The bees and their keeper can communicate. The beekeeper can hear when they're in distress and helps in turn. This partnership of mutual encouragement is a reflection of the harmony and balance we strive for at St. Gregory's Abbey.
So we are excited to finally be open. We have an on-site x-ray, we have a lab, we do sports physicals, DOT physicals, we can treat seasonal allergies as well as if you need any blood drawn.
You can treat a little bit of everything right here at this location, First Med off of Kickapoo. We'll see you soon.
All Safe Security. When you go with us, you're all safe. We solve home and business security needs. We install surround sound and can help with Ethernet wiring. Builder packages available. Keep all safe. Go with All Safe Security.
The bees and their keeper can communicate. The beekeeper can hear when they're in distress and helps in turn. This partnership of mutual encouragement is a reflection of the harmony and balance we strive for at St. Gregory's Abbey.
Gear up your family with unique request one-off orders at Bleacher Season online store. That's right, little brother, dad, and mom with clothes and gear unique to your family. A bunch of cool gear to order. Bleacher Season makes your idea a reality. Gear up for the games at bleacherseason.com.
In today's world, fast and reliable internet isn't a luxury. CVEC Fiber is connecting our community with 100% fiber optic internet. From ultra-smooth gaming to crystal-clear video calls, you'll never miss a moment. Visit CVECfiber.com to sign up.
Great prices sell cars, and Castrokey Auto Mart truly understands that principle. Straightforward pricing with no gimmicks. Located on the corner of Harrison and Jefferson for over 40 years, shop at the lot or online. Castrokey Auto Mart. They're good people. Stewart & Clover Attorneys and Title Company exists to help people. It really is that simple. Whether you have personal or business legal questions or need help navigating land title issues, Stewart & Clover is big enough to solve problems, small enough to care.
The bees and their keeper can communicate. The beekeeper can hear when they're in distress and helps in turn. This partnership of mutual encouragement is a reflection of the harmony and balance we strive for at St. Gregory's Abbey.
Good throw gets Bertram. And that's smashed. Nothing new.
And we're back here, set number 4, as the Titans took set number 3. Lady Wolves still have a 2-1 set series lead, and so they'll look to close this one out here in the 4th set. Shania Bruner looking to get involved as both teams are on the volley here. And the Titans will open things up with the score of their own. That was a great game there by both teams in the 3rd set. Lady Wolves came up just a little bit short, but we'll see what happens here in set number 4. So both teams just battling away, competing, which is what you love to see with high school athletics in any sport. And that's going to be a great effort there. Wow, what a play there by Aubrey Smith. There's been some very, very phenomenal plays here by both teams. I'd say effort nonetheless there by number 3, Aubrey Smith. And that's going to be a point for the Titans. So score 2-1. That's number 12 is on the serve there for the Titans. And that's going to be right into the net there for the Wolves. So score 3-1 right now. Set number 4. Titans have taken the early lead here, and they'll get another one as they are now breathing some new life. They have a 4-1 lead after taking the 3rd set there. What a play there by McGehee. She goes over her head without looking. She sets it up nicely for Bruner, and that one's going to be blocked right back out of bounds. So score 5-1 for the Titans. Excuse me, score 4-1. That's going to be 4-2 as that one goes out of bounds on the service error. So the score 4-2, set number 4. Coach Hunter Burnett up off the bench now, instructing his team as Kylie Moore will now be on the serve. She gets that one over, and that one's going to be right to Janiyah Bruner. She just kind of threw that one down. It looked clean from here. A couple of the Titans fans are arguing against that one, saying she calmed it, but looked good from me, my vantage point. So the score is 5-3 in favor of the Titans, and McGehee puts it in play for Milam. And that one's going to be just out of reach of Kylie Moore. Great effort there on the save. And the score is 6-3 right now in favor of the Titans. So Titans are breathing new life right now. If you're Wolves, you really want to try to get this one in the books in 4 sets, to be honest with you. I mean, you know that you have a little bit of breathing room right now, up 2-1. But anything can happen that last set. So you want to try to do what you can to give yourself as much breathing room as possible. And that's going to be a great play there by Janiyah Bruner. Just goes over her head, wasn't really looking, and that's a great play. Great play there to keep things going for the Lady Wolves. So the score is 7-4 right now. We'll have Chloe Smith on the serve as Janiyah Bruner will check out, and she'll get that one over and in play. That's going to be point for the Titans. So that's going to be 8-4. And we'll have a substitution on hand for the Titans as well. We'll have another substitution for the Wolves as Aubrey Smith gets involved and gets it over to McGehee, who puts it up for Milam. And that one's just going to be right where the Wolves were not. So the score right now is 9-4 in favor of the Titans, who have come out with a vengeance. Milam with a nice play there. McGehee sets it up. So score 9-5. 9-5 here. Still early in the 4th set. A lot of time left. A lot of things can change. A lot of things can happen. So Coach Hunter Burnett is imploring his Lady Wolves to find some of their mojo, you could say, and really kind of get back to what they have been doing. And they honestly played a really good game the last 2 sets. They just couldn't finish the last one, but I thought their effort and the playmaking ability was right where it needed to be. That one's going to go out of bounds, and so 6-9 is your score. Titans still up by 3 right now, but Wolves are generating a little bit of momentum, trying to string a few together right now and close this one out in 4 if they can. And that one's going to be put in play by Chavez, and Milam over to McGehee, who gets it over the net and put in play by the Titans. And that's going to be a net error on the Titans. So the score will go to the Wolves. So score 9-7. 9-7 here in the 4th set. Titans have a 2-point lead over Our Lady Wolves. Ashton Chavez will still be on the serve for the Navy and White. And you're watching ShawneeCTV, our 89th consecutive season calling Shawnee Athletics, highlighting these great athletes here at Shawnee High School. More over to Smith, who gets it over the net and puts it in play. That was Milam and McGehee on the block, and that one's a great play there by Ashton Chavez. Goes over her head, was not looking, didn't need to, just knew where to put it, and that's a great play for the Lady Wolves. So the score is 9-8 in favor of the Titans, but the Wolves have some momentum, scoring 4 unanswered right now as Chloe Smith will check back in. Ashton Chavez will stay on the serve. So we'll see what the Lady Wolves can do here. Great dig and set up to McGehee, who gets it over to Milam. That was returned and saved there by the Titans. But that one's going to go off the hands of the Titans, out of bounds. The score will now be 9-all. The Wolves have looked to regain their focus and kind of settle back down here as the score is now 9-all. And that one just doesn't get quite over the net, so the score will go back over to the Titans. 10-9 here in set number 4, as number 4 Hatchet will be on serve for the Carl Albert Titans. Milam gets it over. Great play there by Milam. Couldn't be controlled on the dig attempt. So the score is 10-all here in the fourth set. Milam will be on the serve, and she's been pretty solid here at the service for the Wolves. Was very key in game number 2. And that one's just going to be out of reach by Milam. Couldn't quite get that one, but the effort was great. Laid out for that one and tried to get under that one. Just couldn't quite make the play. So score 11-10 in favor of the Titans. And that one's going to go straight into the net for the service error on the Titans. So the score 11-all. 11-all here in the fourth set. And service error on part of the Wolves. So the score 12-11 right now. Anybody's ball game. Both teams looking to pull away here in this fourth set. And that's Janai Bruner showing off that excellent vertical. The Titans coaches are arguing for a call there, citing she was over the net, but to no avail. The refs say otherwise. So the score 12-all. Aubrey Smith on the service for the Lady Wolves, and she puts that one over and in play. And that one's not going to get over the net for the for the Titans. So the point will go to the Lady Wolves. And we'll see that one on replay there. That was a great serve there by Smith and couldn't quite be returned there by the Titans. So score is 13-12. Aubrey Smith will stay on serve. And Moore with a great effort there on the save. Nice effort to keep it alive for the Lady Wolves. And that's Bruner and Plumlee. Haven't seen that one much tonight, but very timely play there by Plumlee and Bruner. Timed it up nicely and got the point there. It's been a few sets since we've called up the Bruner-Plumlee tandem, but they were hosting a block party that time. And speaking of block parties, that's Ava Plumlee. She's having a block party of her own right now. That's going to be a big-time point there for the freshman. And that'll also get the crowd involved as the Titans will call a timeout. We'll take one, too. Remember, folks, together we're building community, one season at a time.
The bees and their keeper can communicate. The beekeeper can hear when they're in distress and helps in turn. This partnership of mutual encouragement is a reflection of the harmony and balance we strive for at St. Gregory's Abbey.
Gordon Cooper Technology Center has trade classes for all ages. These programs are not just for our high school students, they are for all ages, and you have the opportunity to get further educated within our community and pick up a trade skill today at Gordon Cooper Technology Center.
Gear up your family with unique request one-off orders at Bleacher Season online store. That's right, little brother, dad, and mom with clothes and gear unique to your family. A bunch of cool gear to order. Bleacher Season makes your idea a reality. Gear up for the games at bleacherseason.com.
And we're back here after the timeout called there by the Titans. The Wolves have a 15-12 lead as that one is ran down there with a great effort there by Aubrey Smith, who tracks that one down. Ava Plumlee with the block there, keeps it in play. Over to McGehee, who sets it up for Kylie Moore. And that one's going to go out of bounds, so everybody got involved there for the Lady Wolves on that one. And they have a 16-12 lead. The Titans are in disbelief there. I can't quite understand what the official saw there, but nonetheless, score is still 16-12 in favor of the Lady Wolves. Aubrey Smith will still be on the serve. She gets that one over the net and put in play. And that one's going to go straight into the net for the Titans. And so they are down 17-12 coming out of the timeout. Again, they're down in the series, in the sets 2-1 right now, looking to even up the score and force a deciding fifth set. Lady Wolves are looking to put this one away in 4. McGee, he sets it up nicely for Chavez, who gets it over the net. McGee over to Bruner, to Aubrey Smith, who gets it over the net. Both teams volleying, and that one's going to be set up and gone out of bounds there by Plunkett for the Titans. Just couldn't quite keep that one in play. Plunkett, a stellar athlete, starring for the Lady Titans basketball team, but couldn't quite keep that one in play there for the Titans. So score 18-12 in favor of the Lady Wolves, and that one's going to be out of bounds. So the score 19-12 and growing for the Lady Wolves as they are just 6 points away from putting this one in the books. Aubrey Smith will be on the serve. And that one's going to be in play. And that was a nice play there by the Titans. Looked like she was going to set that one back up for number 16 Plunkett, but instead she just goes right over the net with it and put it right in front of the Lady Wolves. So the score 19-13. Lady Wolves still have a little bit of a lead here, 6 points away from finishing this one off as Bruner just touches that one right over the net. And I will say, Janiah Bruner has some serious ups. I mean, she was kind of just floating at the net and just dropped that one right over there for the point there. 20-13 in favor of the Lady Wolves. And that's a great block there by Chavez. Again, just timely points when you least expect them, but you need them, and you always appreciate them by Ashlyn Chavez. Scores 21-13 in favor of the Lady Wolves. McGee sets it up over to Moore, who puts it in play for Chavez, and Chavez gets it over. That one's going to be controlled by the Titans. Back to Moore, to McGee, to Milam, over and out of bounds. Great teamwork there by the Lady Wolves, and you can kind of sense it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to speak too soon and jinx it, but you can feel the energy back on the side of the Lady Wolves as Moore gets that one over. Great effort there by McGee, and that was just a unfortunate play. I say that. Looks like there's an explanation there by the refs. Both coaches are standing up. Both benches are trying to determine what is called. And it looks like the call was a net infraction on the Titans. So the point will be in favor of the Wolves. We'll try to see if we can catch that one on the replay and see what exactly happened. It looked like she reached over the net there. That was number 16 Plunkett. So can't do that one, but great effort there nonetheless by both teams, and just an unfortunate play for the Lady Wolves. And that one's going to be put in play by McGee to Bruner, and she just beat Plunkett there to the spot. I will say both of these young ladies are phenomenal athletes. Both will be playing basketball here in the winter, and just good to see kids playing sports and representing their school. Nonetheless, the Wolves find themselves 1 point away from taking this game series and this match this evening. 24-13 right now as Janiah Bruner goes up for the spike, and that one goes out of bounds. To the point, we'll go back over to Titans, 14-24. Titans still in a bit of a deficit right now. Needing some Titan magic to make this one happen in their favor. But the Wolves in the driver's seat right now as they are looking to put this one away and put it in the books. Bruner gets it over. Great effort there by Smith and Moore. And looks like a net infraction on number 5, Chrissy Milam. So point will go over to the Titans, and they will still have some life here. And that one's going to go into the net. And so your score, 25-15. Lady Wolves will take home this one in 4 sets. Great effort on both teams. Great matchup there by Titans and the Lady Wolves as both teams competed hard for 4 sets. But, again, Lady Wolves found a way to make it happen. So you love to see that one getting back on track after they had been kind of on the losing streak there. And they'll look to keep this one going as, again, they have a tournament here this weekend. So if you're not doing anything, ladies and gentlemen, get out here, support these fine young athletes as they are looking to get things rolling in the right direction heading down the stretch. Again, your final 25-15 in the 4-set. Lady Wolves take home this one in 4 sets. This has been a great afternoon of Shawnee Lady Wolves volleyball, ShawneeCTV. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, together we build community one season at a time. We'll see you next time.